Hello students, we are continuing with the chapter 3 demand, and our second lecture we are going to learn about demand function, law of demand, and reasons for inverse relation between price and demand. As we have completed in our first lecture the meaning of demand and what are the factors affecting demand, then after this particular topic demand function is related to it, and the main topic for this chapter, that is law of demand, and what are the reasons which shows us there is an inverse relation between the price and demand. These three topics we are going to learn for today. Now let's see the demand function. What is demand function? Demand function shows a mathematical or functional relation between demand for goods and the determinants of demand, or we can say factors of demand. As we have studied in our first lecture, the factors affecting demand, they are known as determinants. Now all those factors, how it affects the demand, and that particular thing is being shown in a mathematical way. Let us see. Demand function can be expressed like this, like it is a formula which is given here in a mathematical formula, that is dx equals to f means function bracket here is so bracket means function of px py pe tyu. So what are these different terms? Let us know. Now dx means demand of commodity x, then after f means that is a function, then after px means price of commodity x, then after py, that is price of related commodities y, that's why here py it has been written. Then after pe stands for expectations regarding future prices, like in future how prices are going to rise or its prices are going to fall. So all that particular expectations, all these are the determinants which we already studied. All those are being converted into mathematical expression. Then after T stands for taste and preferences. Y here stands for consumers income. And lastly U means other factors which also affects the demand. So these are the different factors which we already studied. That is the main thing, that is the price, and other factors than price, that is related goods, expectation regarding future prices, taste and preference, consumers income, and other factors like size and demographic profile of a population. So this all six factors are known and can be easily understood with the help of just one equation. This, if you know this particular equation, if you know this all shortcuts, so you can easily know how these factors are affecting to the demand. So you can easily understand that factors affecting demand or the determinants of the demand can be easily remembered by this demand function. So demand function is a mathematical expression or a functional relation. It shows the functional relation between the demand and its determinants, we can see. So dx equals to function of px, that is price of commodity x, py means price of commodity, or sorry, price of related commodities, that is y, that is substitute goods, or we can say complementary goods. So we have studied all these points in detail. Then after expectations regarding future price, that is known as pe. Then after taste and preferences, it plays a very important role, that is taste and preferences. Then after you find that consumers income, and then after other factors in that you find that demographic and size of a population. So all these factors can be easily understood with the help of this small formula. So this is called demand function. Now the main topic for today, that is the law of demand. What does the law of demand is there? Why there is a law of demand which has been there? You find that it is a principle. It is a principle which explains the relation between the price and demand. It shows what does the price and demand relationship is there. Now with keeping all these other determinants, or we can say all the other factors as constant. So for working of the law of demand, all these factors, that is price, consumer income, taste and preferences, future expectations of prices, then after price of related commodities, that is substitute goods and complementary goods, and then after you find that size and demographic profile of the population. So all these factors should be constant, and then after we are going to study about the relationship of price and demand. So that particular principle is called as law of demand. But what does the law states? According to Professor Marshall, he has presented this law, and he states that when other factor influencing demand, or when all the other factor which have certain influence on the demand remains unchanged, or we can say it is constant or it is same, then if a price of a goods fall means a particular commodity's price falls, you find that its demand expands, its demand will increase. And if a price of goods rises, or we can say it expands, its demand will contract or falls. So you find that it shows an inverse relation between price and demand, and you find it is a cause and effect demand, as we have studied in the first chapter, that it shows the cause and effect demand. So this is how it is here, and here the cause is the we can say demand, and effect is the price. So this is how it is been based upon. Now this law is very common, and you find it has been used mostly. Now let's study how it works. For working of this law of demand, we need to have certain assumptions. Now what is assumptions? Assumptions means some factors, that is all the factors which we have studied other than price, they should be taken into consideration. And how it should be taken into consideration here? So there is an inverse, you find that we know that there is an inverse relation, means there is an opposite relation between price and demand. And it, for working of law of demand, there are certain assumptions, some things, some instruments should have been there that should be taken up. On the basis of that assumption only, we find that that law will work. So first, your taste and preference of the consumer should not change, then only we can calculate the law of demand, or we can calculate the demand. So you find that taste and preference should be not change. Then after, you find that income of consumer should not change, means if you want to calculate a particular product demand, this should be the same, that is taste and preference, income of consumer. Then after, you find substitute and complementary, that is related goods. So substitutes and complementary goods remains unchanged, that should be also remain change, same. Their price also should not increase or decrease, because if they increase decrease, as we have studied in the factors affecting demand, you find that it shows that there is a change in demand. So it should be same, then only we can calculate exact demand for that particular commodity or product. Then after, consumer do not make anticipation regarding the future prices, means expected future prices should not be done by the consumer. If they do that particular thing, what will happen? You find that the demand at present situation will change, so that should also not be done. Then after, you find that lastly, the size of population should also remain the same. If the size remain the same, then only we can find that particular commodity how much demand is been there in the market. So if all these factors, all these other factors, then price should remains constant. If it remain constant, then only this law of demand will work, because we are calculating with the price and demand. So other factors should remain constant. So this particular 5 things should be there first kept in the mind, that all these things are constant, and then only the law of demand can work. Now let's suppose how it has been working. Now first, we have to make demand schedule, as we have seen that in economics we are going to study, that is in a descriptive manner, that we have studied about the law of demand. Then after, we need to have a table by the help of table. So table is called as here demand schedule. So the schedule showing willingness of a consumer to buy, that is demand, of different quantities of a good, of one particular good, how much demand is there with various prices, with different prices, that is called as what? Demand schedule. Or we can say it is a table showing the different prices. It is a table showing the quantity of demanded with different prices. In short, we can also write this. So let us see the demand schedule. So this is called demand schedule, where you find 2 columns are there. First is a price of a milk, second is a demand of a milk. Now here in law of demand is a cause and price is the effect. That's why keep remember, here we have to take, this is an independent variable and this is a dependent variable for this in law of demand only. So if you want to plot this particular demand schedule in a graph, so how it can be seen like this. You find on the x-axis they have taken the independent variable, that is the demand, and the dependent variable, that is price, because it shows different quantity demand for a various prices. See, as per the meaning only it's going on, don't get any confused. So here demand is independent variable and price is dependent variable. So here you find that the demand has been recorded, that is in liters which are there, 1 liter, 2 liter, 3 liter, 4 liter, 5 liter. So here it has been placed, and here you find on the y-axis the prices are been there from, it is going from 0, 10, 20, 30. So there are 10 rupees gap which has been taken up, and here 1 liter gap has been taken up on the x-axis. So this is how it is been presented. Now let's see the demand schedule. It shows that when the price of a milk is 50 rupees, the demand for that particular milk is only 1 liter. So when price is 50, you find the demand is 1 liter. When price reduces 50 to 40, you find that it becomes how? It increases the demand of that particular milk. So you find that at rupees 40, you find that 2 liters of milk is been demanded. So you find that 40 rupees the liter has increased. So here you find it has been extended, but here there is a reduction in the on the y-axis, that is it is moving downward, but here x-axis is moving to the rightward, that is it is increasing. Same way again you find that when it is going, you find that again there is a reduction in price from 40 to 30. The demand is 3 liters. So again you find 3 liters. This again for when it is going from 30 to 20, decreases to the minimum, that is it demands 4. So 20 rupees you find that is a 4 liter of milk has been demanded. And suppose it comes to the 10 rupees per liter, you find that 5 liters of milk are being demanded. So this is a simple hypothetical representation of the particular law of demand which you find, and this is how the law of demand works. So it shows that when the prices are reducing, the demands are increasing, and when prices are increasing, the demand is falling. So this is how it works, and this is how it shows the inverse relation between the particular price and demand of goods. So let's talk about the analysis. What analysis we have got? The analysis say that first you find that by plotting the demand given in the schedule, first you have to plot the demand, that is on the x-axis. We obtain the various points as if you see back here, you find that there are A, B, C, D, E. These are the different points where different prices are being plotted. So various points you get, which shows you various price demand combinations. So it shows you different combinations. Now if you by joining this point, we get the demand curve DD. So you find here, if you go back here, this particular joints, all the different points are being joined together, and you find this is a DD curve which has been drawn. So this red line is called DD curve, that is called demand curve. Now it shows that it is a demand curve which slopes downward from left to right. It goes from where? If you see, it goes from left to right, indicating that inverse relation between price and demand. How? Because price, which is on the y-axis, it is getting reduced, and here on the x-axis you find it is getting increased. So it shows like this. We find that the demand curve shows like this. It is moving toward the left side, but it is going downward direction. So it shows that there is an inverse relation between price and demand. At point A, the price of milk is 50. Like we have seen in demand schedule that 50 rupees the demand is 1 liter. At rupees, you find at point B, you find that the price is 40, and so the demand has expanded, or it is increased to 2 liters. So when there is a fall in the price from 50 to 40, it expands from 1 liter to 2 liter. Again, if you see at the last point, when price is low as the minimum, that is 10 rupees, the demand has expanded to the highest level, that is 5 liters. So it shows the inverse relation between the demand and the price of a particular product, that is here milk. So it is how, this is how it works, and this is how that law of demand works, that a general consumer or a general people, when sees that the price of a product has decreased, and we try to purchase that particular product more and more with a larger quantity. So this is how it works. So I hope you have been clear with the law of demand totally, that how it has been worked. So if it has a law of demand, first that is a descriptive manner, then we have studied the assumption, what are the things should be included into it, and that what are the factors should be constant. Then we studied, that is all the factors affecting demand other than price are constant, then only the law of demand will work. Then we have seen that the demand schedule. So demand schedule is a representation of the datas with different prices, or we can say it is a representation of a demand of a product with different prices, where demand is independent variable and price is dependent variable, and that was been plotted on the graph. So this is how the information in economics are being plotted, descriptive manner, then after you find in a table form and by the way of graph. That all things are worked in law of demand, and we have seen, and then after we have seen what analysis that you find different prices, the how the demand is increasing up. So this is how it goes on in law of demand. It shows the inverse. Now why, what are the reasons for inverse relation between the price and demand? So what are the reasons? First is income effect. The main is the income effect. Now why income effect? If we have seen that if a income of a consumer increases, we have seen in the consumer of income of a consumer in factors affecting us. So you find that when income increases, what happens? The person will buy more and more of normal goods. The same goods which he is consuming, it purchases more. And what happened? Because his income rises, he purchases more and more of particular goods are being demanded. So ultimately it causes what? That it rises the demand of a product, because it is income increases, demand also increases. It is a direct relationship. So here it says when income of a consumer remain constant, but when suppose the income remain constant but the price has good has fallen, means your income is constant, that is for example your father income is 25,000 and it is constant, and you find that the price of that particular good has fallen, what will happen? Then his or her real income rises. Yes, here real income rises in the sense it is talking about purchasing power. It is talking about, like, suppose your income is constant, that price has fall for the goods, you will purchase more, because you find when for 50 rupees of milk you get 1 liter of, sorry, when 50 rupees of milk you are purchasing, you will getting 1 liter of milk, but it reduces to suppose 30 rupees. So by adding 10 rupees, 50 plus 10, 60 rupees, you find 2 liters of milk can be consumed. So you find that your, when the price has fallen for that particular commodity, when there is no change in income, you find then the purchasing power of a commodity will increase. So demand will increase that time also. So here it says that particular thing. Second, when the real income rises, the consumer can buy more of a good. Yes, I was talking about this. So you find that when a person is having that, at that price only, I mean my income is stable, price has fallen down, why should I consume the same quantity? I can consume more quantity because I can able to purchase it. So that time they will buy more of that particular same goods. Like we can see nowadays, we find that it is a summer season, you find, and you find mango season is going on. So you find that mangoes, if the price has fallen from 50 kg to 40 kg of rupee, 40 kg, so what you find that you will purchase 2 kg. Let me give you, I will give you 80 rupees, you give me 2 kg. Will you able to give me in 3 kg in 90 rupees or 100 rupees? You can bargain. Yes, your mother will be bargaining that. So you find that income is stable, but the price of that product or price of that particular mangoes, the lady she is selling, she is reducing for the goods, because she can sell that particular goods in a larger quantity. So this is how it works. So therefore the demand may rise. Yes, your mother will purchase not 1 kg, but she can purchase, if 100 rupees it is getting 2 or 3 kgs, she will purchase definitely. Yes, then after you find that mostly normal goods have positive effect. Yes, whenever normal goods are purchased, like mango is a normal good, so you find that when that is been purchased, you find that when that particular price falls, you try to purchase more, or your income rise, you try to purchase more of that particular goods. So it shows the positive effect. When income rises, that normal goods are purchased more. If price of that particular normal goods reduces, the person purchase more of that particular product. But suppose inferior goods are there, it shows negative effect. What are inferior goods? Inferior goods are called low quality goods. Low quality goods, like you find that the laborers or the workers who are working on a daily basis, they try to eat low quality goods from the market, because their income are less and daily wages are being given up. So they try to adjust their income, and according to that they try to purchase the inferior quality of goods which are being sold in the market, because it is cheaper, and they try to acquire, they try to purchase and consume that particular type of goods. So you find that if the suppose income rises or the price fallen down, still you find that that does not change any consumption. If their income increase also, they find to go with more purchasing that particular product, inferior goods, or they will move from inferior to high quality goods. Suppose the daily wager you find that here inferior goods are there. Now, suppose his income is 500 per day, and he got a new job, new place, new where that 1000 rupees are being. So what he will do, he will shift his demand from inferior goods to normal goods, or we can say normal. So there will be a change from negative to positive change, and here the demand for inferior goods will get reduced, yes or no? So you will not purchase the cheaper goods, he will purchase the normal goods. So demand for normal goods will rise and the inferior goods goes down when income increases. So that's why it is written here negative income effect. Then substitution effect. Substitution means you find that substitute goods. So if price of substitute goods rise, what happen? You will stop purchasing the concern good. If concern goods price rise, you will stop purchasing concern goods and you move to the substitute goods. So here when a price of concern means your main product or main brand which you are using, that goods fall, it becomes relatively cheaper than its substitutes. Suppose there is, we can say, two brands are there, Coca-Cola and Pepsi, and Coca-Cola has reduced the price from 40 rupees bottle to 35 rupees bottle. Is a summer discount, suppose. So what happened, the Pepsi which has been there, it is same as 40 rupees, they have not reduced their price. So what you find that your demand for your concerned goods will increases. So you find hence consumer will reduce the consumption of substitute goods. Yes, the substitute good of Coca-Cola is Pepsi. So Pepsi will consume less by the people, and those who are consuming Pepsi also, they will move from Pepsi to Coca-Cola, because at summer season cold things are being consumed by people, and suppose same type of identical products are there and there is a difference of 5 rupees. So why should we go for 40 rupees Pepsi? Either we can get 35 rupees of Coca-Cola. So you find that this consumption of substitute goods becomes less and the demand expand for the concern, that is the main good you find. So this is how substitute effects work. So here all is about that price falls for the main product, you try to purchase that main product more and more, and you find that substitute goods are avoided or it is been purchased less, or the demand for substitute goods becomes lesser and lesser. So this is how it works. So these are the two reasons you find that it shows inverse relationship of demand and price of a particular good. So all this have been there. Now then after you find we are going to learn expectations regarding this law of demand. So what are the things are not included as assumptions? You find that what are the things should be there. When it is constant, then only the law of demand is working. But on what all the things this law of demand is not working, because it is not universal. It is universal, but few products are not included, or few things are not included in this. On that particular law of demand will not work ever. So you find that for that particular things we are going to learn in the next class. But for today you need to remember three things. That is, what is demand function, and the mathematical it is a mathematical expression of the particular demand and its determinants. As we have seen, dx equals to f of, that is bracket, you find px, that is price of commodity x, py, that is price of related goods commodity y, then after pe, that is future expectation price of x, then after you find t, that is taste and preferences, then after you find u, that is y, that is you find consumers income, and lastly u stands for other, we can say, factors. So all these functions are there and it is shown in the mathematical reason, that is called demand function. So that is meaning which you have to remember. Second, law of demand, which is can become in your long answers. So you have to remember law of demand, what this law states, who has given this particular law of who has present, that is Arthur Marshall has given up. So that particularly you have to remember. Then you find he states that when keeping all the other factors constant, all the factors influencing the demand constant, you find that when a price of a goods falls, its demand expand, and when a price of goods rises, you find that demand contracts. So this was the law of demand, and on the basis of that we have prepared demand schedule, that is hypothetical data. We have taken up our own random figures, that is price of milk and demand of milk. So 50 rupees price 1 liter, 40 rupees 2 liter, 30 rupees 3 liter, 20 rupees 4 liter, and 10 rupees we find that 5 liters. So as the price has fallen down, the demand for the milk has increased, and the person who was consuming 50 rupees 1 liter, if he gets 10 rupees 1 liter, he will surely purchase 5 liters of milk. So this is what it has been shown into a graph. Yes, so this is how analysis is being done, and we find that law of demand works. And then after we have started with this topic, that is reasons. So what are the two reasons which shows inverse relating between price and demand? That is, we find that one, first is the income effect. If suppose income remain constant, as income remain constant and the price of our main goods become falls down, you find that you will consume more of that. So remember the practical example, that is a mango which your mother buys, then you find that substitution effect. If your substitute goods prices, sorry, your main concern goods prices falls, you will not go with substitute goods, you will go with your own concern goods and you will purchase more. So this is what substitution effect is all about. So both this factor shows there is a inverse relation between price and demand of a commodity. I hope you have been very clear with this. If you still find any doubt, you just call, message, I will give you the reply. And today you have to write this and go with these 3 questions for today and learn it properly. Next class we'll study about what are the exceptions to this law of demand and further new topics. Thank you.